Hey, I want to talk about fact families. So many people are tethered to the triangle. Now, the triangle is an abstract representation. You need to be going concrete, pictorial, abstract. So I want to show you how to set up and do fact families. Always start with manipulatives. And you show the kids, I got 2 and I got 3. And how much does that make? It makes 5. I have 2 purple and 3 orange. And that makes 5. I also could say that I have 3 orange and 2 purple. And that makes 5. Or I could say, I've got 5, and I'm going to take away 2. So I have 3 left. Or I've got 5, and I'm going to take away 3, and I've got 2 left. These numbers sit in relationship to each other. 2, 3, and 5. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 3 plus 2 is 5. And if I have 5 and I take away 3, there are 2 left. And if I have 5 and I take away 2, there are 3 left. That's the basic premise. These numbers are in relationship with each other. So when I make a flashcard, and I got this idea of mathfacts a long time ago, and I always thought it was brilliant. And they do it with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and multiplication and division. They make their cards out of hexagons. You can print them out and they're free. I just sketch them. It doesn't matter if it's a hexagon or not. The point is that this is now on this. So kids can see 2 and 3 is 5, and 3 and 2 is 5. 2 and 3 is 5, and 3 and 2 is 5. And if I have 5 and I take away 2, I have 3 left. And if I have 5 and I take away 3, I have 2 left. That's simple. And then on the back, they write the facts. Kids need to engage with fact families concretely, pictorially, and then abstractly, knowing what all the fact families are. And then you have them write down the equations, right? And so you want them to write 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 take away 3 is 2, and 5 take away 2 is 3. But then there's another set of, ways of writing it. You want kids to write 5 equals 2 plus 3. 5 is the same as 2 plus 3. 5 is the same as 3 plus 2. And 2 is the same as 5 if we take away 3. And 3 is the same as 5 if we take away 2. So having students write all 8 of those equations is an extension of the idea and super important. And in some work you will see that they ask kids to write, the basic fact family and then the extensions. And this really goes back to the math person that I adore, Marion Smalls. And she wrote a book. Well, she's written a million books, but in one of her books, she talks about this idea of the language informing the operation, right? Using the language to explain. 5 is the same as. Also, in that book about thinking, mathematicians, developing algebraic thinking, they talk about that, Carpenter et al. They talk about that idea of using the language. 5 is the same as 2 plus 3. 5 is the same as 2 plus 3. 5 is the same as 3 plus 2. 2, it's the same thing as if you had 5 over here and then you took away 3. You'd have 2 left. So getting kids to actually language out what they're doing with that fact family, that's the purpose. Not to fill in a triangle. To understand the relationship of the numbers. So the next time you get ready to grab for the triangle, put it back. Put it back. You can take it out later. Grab those manipulatives and teach children what they're supposed to be understanding. And really actually letting them explore and construct the meaning of those relationships. You give them some groupings and ask them to explain what's happening. They learn it by doing it. Kids need to do the math. Do the math. Right? So that's just a little tidbit on fact family.